Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the Social Services Committee to order. Oh,
Just in time, Mary.
Why we in a small room?
You're welcome, everyone. Council, can you please call the roll?
Sure, Mr. Fine,
Here.
Simpson,
Here.
Brewski's excused, Cleary,
Here.
Smith, Lockhart, McLaughlin,
Here.
Hurley,
Here.
and Chapman is excused, 7 present, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. Start with previous business, approving, number one, approving previous meeting minutes. Motion, Mr. Cleary, do we have a second? Second, Ms. Lockhart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's unanimous. Down to current business. Number two, amending resolution number 64 for 2022 regarding the rental supplement program. Commissioner LeGlave?
Good evening. We're just requesting an extension for this contract that we had with OTDA for our, the rent supplement program for $1.1 million. It's a 100% state grant to pay ongoing rent assistance for clients. And when we originally came to the committee, we thought the end date was December 31st, 2022, but we received a letter since then extending it to March 31st, 23, and we probably will expect there'll be another extension at some point, but we don't have official word of that. But so this is just an extension through March of 23.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Make a motion.
So I'm going to ask a question.
Oh, okay.
Just want to open up to others first. How much of the money, or has any of the money, and if so, how much has been given out already?
We have 16 households enrolled for an annualized amount of 129,000, but we're looking for people every day, trying to get more people enrolled, and for them to find housing that meets the criteria and that they can afford.
And could you provide a little more information on how one qualifies for this program?
You need to be homeless, so we're targeting folks in our homeless shelters, particularly families, and particularly large families as our first tier that we're targeting, or at risk of homeless. So if there's a situation where someone is facing a potential eviction or is looking like they're going to become homeless because they can't afford where they're living, we can consider using this grant for that as well. That's primarily the criteria. So we're trying to, again, focus on our homeless shelters. First the family shelters, then the single shelters, and then if people come to us with evictions, looking at that.
And this is for fair market, so it's a lot more
It's more than.
money than the emergency.
Right, than what OTDA has, the rent supplement that OTDA has set, which was set, I think 15 years ago, it hasn't been changed, so that amount is very, very low. So this is fair market rent, actual fair market rent, 85% of fair market rent is what we can pay.
And what would you say are the barriers to getting people enrolled?
I think primarily it's for them finding appropriate housing, finding housing that's available and is willing to take the voucher.
Okay, and do you find, are a lot of landlords not willing to take the voucher?
We haven't really, we thought we might, but they seem to be, they're a little hesitant, of course, because it's DSS and we take a little while to pay sometimes, government. So, but I think when they hear that we're paying every month, as opposed to, previously we would pay for a shorter term, but we're paying every month, they're a little bit more interested. So we're doing outreach to our community, our nonprofit providers as well, because they have connections with landlords to let them know about that this is a decent program and could be relied upon. But it's hard finding any housing right now.
Does DSS assist with that, or nonprofits assist with that?
No, we have some landlords that work with us, but we don't go do the search for the individual. We might give them a list of people that have worked with DSS in the past. But we're hoping this opens up different landlords and new landlords, also. Not just those that serve, charge really low, which sometimes is not the greatest facilities.
And how long is the rent paid for, this program?
Well, it'll be up to the legislature to determine if it continues past March 31st, 2023. We've been informed that it will. And we'll see if it's in the governor's budget, and then if it's carried forward into the ledge. But it's supposed to be a new state program, a new ongoing state program.
Okay.
Is-
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there any sunset within the program for individual participants? Or can they just,
So, well, it's income, some of it is income-based, so you will be on it technically, say everything's perfect. You'll be on it until your income goes up to the point where you're only paying 30% of your rent is only 30% of your income. So say you make $1,200 just a month, your rent is 40%, $400, correct me. If you make $1,201, you'll probably go off of it, right? So your income has to be no more, if you can afford 30% of your income towards rent, and that's what your rent is, then you'll go off the program. So you're not supposed to pay more than 30% of your income towards rent. That's kind of like a national standard. Or if you move out of that facility, it doesn't necessarily go with you.
and how long has the program been running, and are there long-term?
No, well, we
Participants?
really just started having folks enroll like June, July. So we just got the award really in May, and so it's been slow to start. But once we get people on, they're gonna hopefully stay on for a long time. We won't be able to put new people on, or there won't be a lot of slots.
Ms. McLaughlin, did you still have a question?
Do you have any are there any provisions for seniors in the program? I know you said the priority was large families. But are there any provisions for unhoused, seniors?
If they're homeless or at risk of homelessness,
They're-
we did not make a priority for seniors necessarily, but homeless or at risk of homeless, so it opens the door for that if they are.
And you said you had how many families currently?
There's 16 households enrolled.
At 162,000 or something?
If you annualize it, it's about 129,000 per year, so we have to keep track of that so we don't go over the grant.
Okay. But the maximum grant is what? Is the 129? But you've spent 120?
No, the grant is 1.1 million total. The maximum is as much as, if you have a family of 10, it's whatever 85% of the fair market value of that rental is, so we're talking, I don't know, a couple $1,000s potentially, if you get a large house.
Okay.
So it depends on who gets enrolled, how far this will go.
So, if I wanted to refer somebody to this program, can I do that? Or would they have to go through an agency?
They'll have to go to DSS, they'll have to come to DSS, yep.
Okay.
Ms. McLaughlin, do you still have?
I'm done. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Lockhart, do you have a question?
Mr. Parley has my question.
I had a follow-up. Commissioner, for families that may be receiving foster payments or kinship foster, is that money counted towards the income limitations for the program? So in other words, is it conceivable that a family could be receiving, hundreds or thousands of dollars in foster payments, but it's not being credited towards the income limit
I'll
for
have
the
to look
program?
that up, that was something that was in the RFP, and I can't remember which way it went, whether it's excluded or not excluded. So there was, foster payments were considered, but I'll have to let you know if it's included or not included.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, yeah, do we have any other questions? Okay. Okay, Mr. Smith, second, Mr. Cleary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous. Number 3, authorizing an agreement with New York State Office of Indigent Legal Services regarding the second Upstate Family Defense Child Welfare Quality Improvement and Caseload Reduction Grant and amending the 2022 Albany County budget.
Thank you, committee, and thank you, Chairman, for allowing us to present today. We are, the County Executive's Office, on behalf of the Public Defender's Office, the Conflict Defender's Office, and the Assigned Counsel Program, would like to accept the funds awarded to us from the second Upstate Family Defense Child Welfare Quality Improvement and Caseload Reduction Grant. Essentially, we were awarded $750,000 that will be split up over 3 years, $250,000 per year. We are gonna be utilizing these funds to hire one attorney who will focus on family court matters, a social worker for the Conflict Defender's Office, as well as non-legal representation services, so trainings and so forth for our attorneys to be better prepared in court.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Ms. McLaughlin, second, Mr. Cleary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Pass unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I didn't, I just remembered I did.